What's going on, American truckers? Hope everybody out there is doing great, staying safe, staying out of trouble. Hopefully y'all enjoy this drone footage here. This is in Whiteland, Indiana, the Flying J. I'm sure probably all of y'all listening, if you drive, you've been here at some point in time or another. It's a pretty popular spot just south of Indianapolis. Anyway, if you're down in Florida, man, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope everything turned out all right. Hope you didn't suffer a whole lot of loss. And I hope no one in your family came up missing or anything like that. I saw where they had some people down there missing. Take your time at home. And like I said, I'm sure everybody out there is praying for you. I'm praying for you. We'll get Florida built back better, right? Anyway, we're going to jump off into this, how to avoid DOT inspections as a company driver, all right? This kind of applies to owner-operators too, but I'm going to be speaking on it from a company driver perspective because that's what I am. I'm a company driver. All right, number one, first and foremost, don't go to work for a bad carrier. When I say a bad carrier, I mean a carrier that's got crappy equipment, crappy trailers. You can look up their record online. It's all free. You can put their DOT numbers in. It'll bring all that information up. It will tell you how many inspections they've had, how many out of services they've had, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to go to work for a carrier that's on the verge of being shut down, right? So do your due diligence and do your research before you go to work for a carrier. Don't just pick anybody, any old carrier out there and go to work for them. All right, because if their record's bad, they're probably going to get pulled into scales a lot. They get pulled into scales a lot, you're probably going to get inspected a lot. You know, especially as their CSA score goes up, they become more of a target by DOT. Also, you want a carrier that looks like, and this is number two. If you're on a small fleet, you want a small fleet that looks like a mega carrier. You know what I'm saying? You want them to look as much like a mega carrier as possible. Some of these guys like to go to work for these little bitty fleets and they look like owner operators, but they're actually small fleets. Man, that'll put you on the target list, man, because we all know, we've all been through these truck stops. These DOT officers, they target owner operators. If your truck looks like an owner operator truck, it's going to be targeted more than likely by DOT. More so than if it looks like a fleet truck. DOT automatically assumes fleet trucks are taken care of, which is a bad assumption. But that's what DOT does. I think Asian Maya, it might have been about a year ago, had interviewed a former DOT officer, and he himself admitted that they targeted owner operators. Owner operators have a better chance of writing them a ticket. Their equipment's normally older. They may or may not have the money to fix it at the moment, so they may be riding with some bad stuff. You know, so they tend to target owner operators more so than anything. So you want to try to look like one of the mega carriers, right? Anyway, number three, keep your truck clean in and out, especially the dash. All right. If you pull into a weigh station, you pull into a scale house, whatever you want to call it, and your dash is all cluttered up, think about it. That DOT officer is watching you come down the line. If he sees your dash all cluttered up, you didn't take the time to straighten up your dash, you probably didn't check your tires on your truck and trailer. You probably haven't checked the oil. It's easier to clean up your dash than it is to raise that hood. You see what I'm saying? So I see drivers all the time. They'll have candy wrappers and soda bottles and all kinds of stuff just scattered all across their dash. Hate to see what it looks like on the floor of their truck, but you're just asking for trouble. You're asking to get pulled in. You're asking to get inspected, get pulled around the back. So keep your truck clean, in and out. You know, your truck comes through there, your dash is cleaned up, your truck has been washed recently. You know, that DOT officer is thinking, all right, this driver takes pride in what he's doing, he or she's doing. So they're probably okay. There's probably not anything wrong. If they do all that, they probably check their oil, they probably check their tires, because they take pride in what they do, right? So keep your truck clean. Number 4, do your pre-trips and post-trips. Make sure everything's in working order, especially your lights. It's hell to get pulled off in a weigh station because you didn't do a pre-trip and you got something simple like a marker light out, or something you could have either changed out or had changed out in just a few minutes. I'll tell you a little story. I was in North Carolina, I believe. I was running flatbed, and this was back in 2017, I believe. There's somewhere around in there. Anyway, I was running flatbed, and I was working for Decker at the time. And I had done my pre-trip, so this ain't one of them kind of things, but just to kind of show you how this goes. I pulled through the scale house. I'm pulling out to get back onto the road. DOT officer comes flying out, pulls me over right there on the get-on ramp right there on I-40. And I think I was on I-40. Might have been 85. Whatever it was. I was just coming out of Georgia, going into North Carolina. It's been a long day, so might have my interstates mixed up. Comes flying out of there anyway, pulls me over. Comes up there, tells me, why I pulled you over? I said, no. He said, you ain't got no brake lights. Well, I had tail lights, but I didn't have brake lights. You push the brakes, there were no lights. Turned out that fuse throughout the day at some point in time had gone out. And even though I could fix it right there, he still wrote me a ticket. And he still did an inspection. So I mean, it was the middle of the day. At night you can kind of see your lights when you hit your brakes. You can see them flashing off the ground behind you. But it's made me paranoid ever since. Ever since then, I've been paranoid about my brake lights. But yeah, that was kind of a jacked up ordeal, man. But them DOT officers, they got to make their money. If you think about it, a ticket's nothing but a hidden tax is all it is. It's another way the state getting revenue. Federal government getting revenue. Everybody gets a piece of it when they write you a ticket. So it's a hidden tax. Number 5, last but not least, watch your speed. Use your turn signals. Keep your following distance. Don't give these guys a reason to stop you and look at your stuff. The less of a reason they have to stop you, the better off you are. You know what I'm saying? Don't drive down the highway giving these guys a reason to stop you. It's silliness. And I see some drivers will say, well, you can drive 5 over and they won't mess with you. You don't know that for sure. It's going to depend on that officer, what kind of mood he's in, whether or not he's had his quota or not, how many tickets he's written that month, and whether he feels like doing the paperwork. If he hadn't had a real good month, or maybe he had a fight with his girl that morning, his wife or whatever, or her husband, they may see you doing 2 or 3 mile an hour over and just pull you over and write you a ticket. I have heard of it happening. It can happen. I know in my car, I've been pulled over 2 miles over before. So it can happen. Just stay at the speed limit. It's just easier. You don't have to worry about it. You ain't even got to worry about where they're at, where they're hiding and watching you. Just kick it on back, set the cruise control, stay at the speed limit, and you're good to go. And I am that guy that does follow the speed limit. So if you get in behind old Snapper and you like to run fast and you can't get out and around me, you're going to be cussing me out, because I don't care how close you get to me. I ain't speeding up. I don't like dealing with law enforcement, so I do all I can to avoid dealing with law enforcement. And I don't like getting inspected. I've had several inspections. The states I've been inspected in the most, number 1's Maryland. I got inspected in Maryland one time, twice in the same scale in the same month. Oklahoma, I've had 3 over the years in Oklahoma. And then the next would be Arizona, and then next would be Wisconsin. Those are the states I've been messed with the most. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Y'all might have a little bit different experience than I've had. But those are the 3 states that I seem to get inspected in the most. If you got another state that's worse, throw it on down there in the bottom. Tell me about it. I'd like to hear about it. Anyway, y'all take care. I'm going to go ahead and close this on out. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Be good to one another. Remember, we are all family. Even if we are a little bit dysfunctional or a lot dysfunctional, we're still all family. I love each and every one of y'all. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, spending a little time with old Snapper. Y'all know how I leave y'all. Stay safe. Keep trucking.